Gabba Gabba, hey drunken cock fans, this is Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming from the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, and we're here to announce that you have found and stumbled upon our show. We're very happy to have you. If you found this on podcast platforms, you will be sorely disappointed in the magic entertainment. However, the video will be uploaded to YouTube and Facebook. Remember, this show is an adult show, contains adult content. Have fun, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am, of course, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. You have stumbled upon the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Tonight, we got on the couch Kris with us. Of course, GW Foley's here. Collen might be here in a minute. We got a lot to get into this week. Let's get it.
Show me your tits. This is a weird show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. We're on episode 22 featuring Kris Hayes. It's going to be a fun one. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about, apparently Andrew Cuomo isn't the only scumbag in the Cuomo family. We're going to talk about a Florida restaurant that's aching for staff right now. We're going to talk about a local news story where some jackass drove through the Lincoln-covered bridge with an excavator again. We're going to talk about Russell Brand and the controversy surrounding him. And, of course, we're going to talk about sexy Halloween costumes because it's, September 29th? It's not too late to start talking about Halloween. Or too early. It's not too early to start talking about Halloween, right? I think that's fair. Anyways, without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage, my man, my buddy, my comrade. Please welcome Mr. GW Foley.
What is up, motherfuckers? It is Wednesday night. I've been looking forward to this.
Me too.
It's a great time to be here. It's a great time to be alive, and God bless America. That's feeling patriotic, feeling my duty, I guess. So. Fun news! I got my first bad comment on my YouTube channel, and so what do? I automatically paste it to Facebook and say, "Hey guys, what should I do?" And I'm really disappointed with the results. Everyone's like, "Oh, just ignore it. Just let it be. Let it, that person doesn't know what he's talking about anyways." I'm like, no, I did this so you guys start dogpiling on the guy. I did this so you defend my honor. Like, go onto my Facebook channel and be like, well, you're a bitch, JJ. Go fuck yourself. I hope you're your own guy. Things like that. Not like, oh, just ignore him. He's a bigger person.
What was JJ ragging on you about, G-Dubs?
The fact that I had complaints about the NoFX concert I went to.
Oh, well, they don't really sound very good anymore, and I love them. So
yeah, me too.
I wasn't even talking. It was really stupid shit. Like, oh, hey, maybe I didn't want to be on fucking tarmac all day.
Oh God, yeah.
Like it was 10 hours of standing on asphalt.
Yeah, that's like taking it back to like Warped Tour 01, man. Yeah, just sunburned all day.
Yeah, like that's, and I did that. I spent my time. I have put my time in dingy bars with spilt fucking Michelob Ice all over. I have been in people's basements. I have you church basements. like I have put in my time. Now when I want to see a show, I want to be comfortable. I want to enjoy myself.
I think I'm like one of the only people who really enjoys live streams. I like being in a similar place to where I am right now and watching a show where I get the best view in the house. I get an amazing mix. Like, why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, exactly. Like I can be in my boxers and not have people stare at me.
Exactly. AC boxers. Totally.
Yeah. Or if like some random thing happens and like a pair of boobs flop out, I can start jerking in the middle of the concert. No one's gonna pay attention to me. Unlike if I do it as a punk and
Hold on,
drum
we got
sport.
the Chris Cuomo stuff coming later.
So that I really wish and I really wanted people to be like, oh, what's this fucker's name? And by the way, I look like this is how petty I am. As soon as I saw the comment, I looked at him and like I looked at his channel, and the motherfucker doesn't even have videos up. So I'm like, what are you even complaining about? Like at least I'm doing something. Tell me my video is awful.
G-Dubs, I have one video on YouTube that's me demoing two guitars and comparing them, and it's like pretty much all positive comments. But there's this one person that said I was an abomination. Wow, I was like, what a strong word. My God.
Damn, that's rough. And the fucker downvoted me too, which I'm fine with. Like I don't mind downvotes because you get enough of them and it still affects the algorithm. So you're just falling into my trap. And thanks for the comment, asshole. Like you just made it so like someone else is gonna see it. But the concert was good. I got to hang out with some high school friends, which I think is great. Hanging out with the high school guys. We've been in bands, countless bands together. We have gone on countless concert trips, and I mean, like we used to do a yearly trip to Warped Tour when that was a thing. We saw countless bands together, just traveled all over going to shows, and they could give two shits the fact that I'm a stand-up comic. like no matter how far in my life that I make it and like how popular I get, they're always gonna be like, yeah, you're still the jackass from high school. Like go fuck yourself. We've heard these jokes before in one way or another. And that's something that I really need in life. Like I need someone to humble me. Besides like Jess and Cindy and Oscar and like my entire family. But it's good to have those friends who are like, yeah, no, you suck. So that's always fun. Let's see what else. School sucks. I'm getting ready. I'm ready already to be done for winter break, and I still have like 8 weeks left to go. So
it's just begun.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's a little longer than 8 weeks. I think it's 12 weeks. Like we're at week 4 now, and I'm just like, oh, can this just end? But other than that's about it going on in my life. Let's turn it over to Collen and see how he's doing.
Hey, gentlemen. Good evening.
Great
to be here. GW, I hope you know that I am always here for you to tell you you suck.
Thanks, man. Need that.
That's really that's my job. I was talking to a friend recently who was saying that growing up, we were kind of talking, and I said, it's funny where like when we started the country, we chose like certain words and decided to spell them differently than the Brits, like the word theater. Here we spell ER, but in England they spell it RE, right? And there's all sorts of different words, like words we spell with OR, they spell OUR, like behavior spelled different, color, neighbor, flavor, favorite, honor. And then the Z words that they changed to SE, like analyze, become like analyze or something because it's SE now. And I had a friend who was like reading books that were printed in the UK when she was a kid and like never realized, like when she started to spell, she's like, well, you know, they're like, you spelled color wrong. She's like, not the way I saw it in the book I'm reading. And it was like, it was because it was from the UK. And I'm like, man, I wish I had known about that earlier in life, you know? Or someone would be like, Collen, you spelled the word color wrong. Really? Did I spell it the way that they would at Oxford? Like just like 8-year-old Collen, you don't know how to spell behavior. Isn't that funny? Because my time at Cambridge Library tells me different. I should have just confused my spellings. Forgive me, I'm intercontinental. Yeah, what else is going on? I think it's like we're all just so excited to start these holidays now, like way before they begin, you know, like, you know, foliage right now is like, you know, it's like we want to start drinking pumpkin spice lattes in like June, you know, and like Christmas starts in October. And of course, 9/11 starts in July. It's just everything is just been just so much time that we're spending before the event talking about it. But the foliage thing kills me. You know, it's like this is the time of the year when people come up here from the city to start looking at leaves on a search for fresh maple syrup. Gotta get it. You want your fresh maple syrup. My sounds like the bat alarm. Coming, Alfred. But people ask me where can I find some, you know, fresh maple syrup? I'm like, you missed it by about 8 months, but most people tell you that. However, I happen to have some fresh maple syrup I could sell you for about $100 a gallon. You know, people asking for directions, like, hey, you know how to get to Killington? And you got to say stuff like, oh, bud, you can't get there from here. You know, you know? Shit like that. I think it's interesting, you know, now with they're going to have on birth certificates, they're no longer going to say the sex on the birth certificate of children. They're not going to sign the gender when you're born. They're going to wait until the child decides what gender they are, and then I don't know if we're going to have that. I mean, at a certain point, I guess you need to make the decision because it's hard with, like, say, a driver's license. You know, you pull someone over, you know, they say, you know, are you male or female? You know, let's say you break the law, you know, you're running. At a certain point, you're gonna, you know, have to assign a gender. You know, like someone's like, was it a man or a woman? It was a they. Is what we can offer up right now. It was a they. It's like, all right, everybody, we're on a look for the they. All right, that's all I can give you right now. Somewhere between a man or a woman, be on the lookout. All right. Yeah, you know, because I mean, it's that would be nice. That'd be nice. I think it was nice that the famous skier Peekaboo. I think her name was it Peekaboo
Street?
Peekaboo Street. Yeah, Peekaboo Street.
Something like that.
Yeah, her parents took it one step farther. They decided you didn't need to have a name on the birth certificate. They said we're not gonna name our kid. We're not gonna assign a gender to it. We're gonna wait for them to pick their own name. And of course, she picked Peekaboo when she was about 3 years old. and her legal name became Peekaboo Street. Interesting. If you didn't have the name or the gender on the birth certificate, it just is like born. That's it. That's all that's on it. But if it was me and someone let me name myself, my name would be like Cuckoo T-Rex, you know, or something like that. People like, yeah, he named himself Red T-Rex at the age of 3, and we kept it.
It was his choice.
It was his choice, and that's what they decided to do. Right? Yeah, I think it's I gotta check and make sure I don't have a tick on me. You wouldn't want to get one of those. It's worse than COVID. Like, you know, like some guys like Lyme disease, COVID. You get the feeling that the planet's just trying to kill us, you know? I'm at a point right now. Yeah. And I was talking about this last week, but I think Kris would agree with this. I was on a flight, and this guy had told me he spent time in Shanghai, lived in Shanghai for 3 months. And he says to me, and I said, "Oh, how was that?" He goes, "Well, you know, it's the type of city that you can live in for 3 months, you know, max." And I'm like, huh, that's funny, because I don't really ever see myself living in Shanghai probably for 3 weeks. But okay, on the long shot, I uproot my life and move to Shanghai for the mere 3 months. What would that be like? He's like, well, it's a city that, you know, is very clean, very nice, and people don't drink. You know, they don't drink a lot. You know, they go out, a drink's very expensive. They might have one. And I'm like thinking to myself, I wonder if this guy's ever been to New York. It's like if Shanghai's a city you have one drink in, New York's like slogan should be just like New York, one hell of a bar. Yeah, it's a t-shirt like New York. Now that's a hell of a bar, because the city has more alcohol per person than I think any place on the planet. I would say even probably more than Vegas. And people drink it. You know, people drink it. Like, you know, in Shanghai, if a guy's walking down the street, like very proper. Dubai, you can be, it's illegal to be publicly intoxicated. I mean, if you arrested everybody who was publicly intoxicated in New York, there'd be no one left. It's like the all-star team of drinking, you know? It was like a city that was built by the Irish, you know, developed by the Italians, labored by the Mexicans.
That's right.
Financed by the Russians. It's like, holy shit. You guys just put together the major league of drinking. You know?
Oh, man.
Just like walking down the street, and just New York is all just people like, hey, sir, I think we should definitely one more bar. Just one more. Like, yeah. The city on the back of the t-shirt just say one more drink. You know? But that's really that's what I've been up to. I'd like to kick it over to the reason we get together here every week. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. As always, nice to be on fucking Wednesday nights with the boys. Kris, good to see you as always, my friend. Cheers.
Good to see you, brother. Cheers.
Before I start my set, I needed to ask, what was the Rogue? Is it pumpkin?
Yeah, this is what is it? Pumpkin Patch Ale.
I'll have to find that one. I just did they're not up yet. The first one comes out this Thursday. I did a series of 4 pumpkin beers on Hickory Drinks, which is a reviews. Bad reviews is what I do, and you can join me on Thursdays for beer reviews and Sundays for sodas. But I just did a round of 4 different pumpkin beers. did Rosemary's Baby, Smash Pumpkin by Shipyard, Big Mother Pumpkin by Blue Point, and I also did Shipyard Seltzer Pumpkin, which was weird.
Whoa, crazy!
And then what was the last one? Oh, Rosemary's Baby by Two Roads. It was great. Anyways, I figured this out the other day while I was heavily drinking, that sometimes the magic is super simple and it works inside a case, right? So if I put a deck of cards in there face up and I flip it over, right, real slow, it should be face down. But not with this deck. This deck was face up. And I'll show you how that works one more time, like that. And if I flip it back over, it should be face down, but it's face up. Now, the real magic here is that I can do this with a single card. And I mean, I could show you that like all the cards are face up. This is not it's kind of neat. But I figured if I could do it with just one card, it would be even more spectacular, because there's something much more special about a single card out of 52 than a full deck. So I'm just going to kind of riffle down through here. And Kris, you yell stop whenever you'd like. We'll select that card. And I mean, you can change your mind after I do it, but it's going to riffle like that.
Stop.
Right there. Do you want this one or the one underneath?
I want the one underneath.
Okay, so there's a 7 of spades.
Okay.
Okay, so if you were to take that 7 of spades and you gave me a random name, one that wasn't mine, wasn't yours, wasn't Collen's, wasn't G-Dub's, a name that I wouldn't have had any prior inkling to,
Okay.
I will write it on this card.
Clark.
Clark. Nice. Clark, that's pretty
Okay.
there. Easily viewable. So what I'm going to do is place that somewhere in the middle of the deck. And then I'm going to take Sharpie and put it away for safety's sake. Put that deck back into my little magic box. As you can see, his card is clearly sticking out. It still says Clark. If I were to push that in, flip it over very fairly, you find that the deck turned over. However, if we were to scroll through here, we'd find that one card was not overturned. And that would have been a 7 of spades with the name Clark on it. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's my quick mini set for the evening.
Love that.
Hope you guys enjoyed. That was a fun little one that I figured out. Well, you know, sometimes when you're like 5 beers deep and you're looking at a pack of cards, you're just like, yeah, I'm going to bend these to my will. I'm going to make some magic happen. And you figure out a little piece like that. And because sometimes you're like, hey, this would look really great in front of the crowd, but it would also look really great on the show.
Deck just looks different after 5 beers.
That's right. It's a little shiny. It glistens just right. You can almost like see through them, and you know which card you're going to select. It's pretty amazing. But without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage a good friend of mine. Been friends since high school. I miss this man. Much like Collen, we've been friends since high school. GW and I haven't been friends since high school, but we feel like we've been friends since birth.
Yeah.
Like this dude's my brother. But welcoming to our spotlight stage, a man who is a musician, a multi-talented dude, all-around good guy. And he happens to be not too far from us this evening, reporting live from not his home state anymore. I guess his birth state, maybe? Anyways, welcome. This is a fucking rambling intro. Anyways, welcome to our spotlight stage. Please help me welcome Kris Hayes.
Well, you know, thanks, gang. Seeing as, you know, this is the Drunken Underwhelming show, I always try to make my spotlight as underwhelming as possible. I rarely have anything interesting to share with you guys. And particularly today is particularly underwhelming because I'm on the bad camera with the bad lighting. So yes, I'm in New York. I'm up here doing some seasonal work and grinding. So I just have like a little bit of a makeshift setup here. Collen was talking about celebrating holidays early. I'm a month early on this, but yeah, I'm very much ready. So my girlfriend and I actually we bought a house recently down in North Carolina, and we're really looking forward to having trick-or-treaters at the end of the month. That's very exciting. So
Yeah.
first time.
These kids are gonna be lucky.
Yeah, we're gonna hook them up, man. We're gonna hook them up. You know, you gotta.
Gotta go to the Hayes house. Is gonna be the place to be.
That's right. Come to the Hayes house. We got you covered. You know, there was this guy in Vermont, in Pittsfield, who used to give out like king-sized Hershey bars. Do you remember him?
I remember the guy in Killington. I don't remember the guy in Pittsfield, but I never got out there because, I mean, towns are miles away out here.
It was a dude. He owned like a used car dealership on Route 100. Can't remember his name.
I'm surprised he could afford them. He could definitely afford them now with the used car dealership. Those things are crazy prices.
I know. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about. This might be like rehashing some old stuff for you on the show, guys, but Hickory, your Facebook got hacked.
Yeah, I no longer have ownership of it.
So could you take me down memory lane for that? Because this guy was just like streaming like video games on there. It was really funny.
In Spanish, apparently. So what had happened is at the time, most of the followers know at this point, I was moving. I had tore down my house, and I was living in a hotel with my wife and my ferocious tiger. And we were just kind of living that, and I was still trying to get some content produced for my YouTube channel and trying to, focus on the show still and trying to like get some stuff done for promotion and shoot some videos here and there, and wasn't really paying attention to my email. And then all of a sudden I notice an email that's like, you've been signed out of @HickoryTDAU. And then I see another one right after that, like less than a minute later, that was like, you are no longer an admin on @HickoryTDAU. So my first response is like, what the fuck? So I immediately look, and yeah, I only have access to the other pages that I'm either an admin on or a moderator. For those who don't know, I'm on the board of the Woolen mill, so we do post it there because we share the show there too. And also a band that I was in back in high school, we still have that shit going because old memories die hard. I wasn't able to access that @HickoryTDAU. So I look it up, and the only part that upset me, I didn't lose any content. I have everything backed up, and I have everything saved. It's either on Instagram or on YouTube. So it wasn't like I lost access to a bunch of content. It was that I lost access to my @HickoryTDAU handle, which I have on fucking everything. TikTok, Parler, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of them, Venmo. Like all of them. But so yeah, apparently the the asshole that stole my Facebook page speaks some, I think it's Spanish, but I don't know. It's some Central American language, I assume. And yeah, he turned it into a gaming profile, and it has a lot of subscribers, and he streams stuff occasionally. And I've written Facebook.
Still called Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming?
Yeah, and it's still @HickoryTDAU. It still has all my photos. It has all the old episodes.
That's the weirdest part of this story. It's like this guy, it's not like he just like hacked it to hold it ransom and be like, if you want your handle back, like I need like $5,000 or something. He commandeers it and then pivots the whole thing into fucking online gaming. It's like,
which is funny because I do gaming content on my YouTube channel. For anybody who follows that, I do a gaming series and a playthrough, and I having a lot of fun with it. But like, that's not, and none of that's on my Facebook. Like my Facebook is centric around the show and random posts of stuff that I'm like, hey, this beer's awesome. Try this. So yeah, it's very strange that some dude hacked the Facebook that had less than 300. I mean, I have more followers on YouTube than my Facebook. So, like,
I'm sorry it happened to you, but it's just super funny that like.
Oh, it's super weird. So at Real Hickory TDAU is my new handle on Facebook, and if anybody's watching this, please go to the original one. Make sure you don't go to my new one at Real Hickory TDAU. Go to the original Hickory TDAU and report that bastard for copyright infringement, because I have my logos copyrighted, and that motherfucker's infringing on my copyright because he's still using my logos. So
what a bastard.
Dude, like an asshole move, and it made me think instantly. I'm like, what if this happened to, like, I don't know, any $10 to $20 million business in the area? Like,
yeah,
let's use one that doesn't exist anymore. What if Bentley's Facebook page got hacked?
Bentley's is gone?
Oh yes. Bentley's
we're starting to break that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have updated you earlier, but yes, Bentley's is gone. It's Mr. Klonopin's Tonic or something. I can't remember. What's the name, Collen? Do you know?
Klonopin's
Mr.
Tonic?
Klonopin's Tonic. I'm going to go with that so we don't get sued by the actual
Tonic.
business and their likeness. But, you know, it was funny because actually I had oneforestfilms.com. What some people do is they'll wait for your URL to expire. And if you don't renew it right away, they'll buy your URL and then they'll blackmail you to buy it back.
Yep.
And at the time that the Chinese did this to me, and by the time this happened, our website was almost 300 pages of script.
Oh, wow.
And all of the URL were all assigned to that domain. So it was like, it ended up being a thing where they actually, they think they wanted, I can't remember if it was $12,000 or $50,000, but then I just added a plural, let the site go down. And after a couple of years, it came back and I bought it back. But it actually is a crazy thing where if you can actually buy a business's domain, you can then sell it back to them at an outrageous cost.
There's a huge business in registering future politicians' URLs. Like if you had registered Joe Biden 2020, back in 2015, 2016, you probably could have sold it to his campaign for an egregious amount. Same with any politician. That's common practice, actually, is people just like punching in URLs with dates and stuff and trying to.
You remember that old porn website called the White House?
WhiteHouse.com. Yeah, I think we looked into that a couple weeks
There was
ago.
a porn site called WhiteHouse.com. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. And what happened was at one point there was some event, and basically it was like when the internet was still kind of new, and like they were on television, like for more information, just go to the WhiteHouse.com, and people just typed in WhiteHouse.com.
Yep. Yeah, I remember.
I don't think that website exists anymore, Kris.
Oh, that is hysterical.
No, it's something else now.
My final thing for my spotlight stage is this picture right here is me in like second or third grade or something.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Right,
that was before I met you, bro.
That's
I think
right.
we met in like third grade.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I was like
third.
right when I met you, right there.
No shit.
That's it. That's what I got.
You've always looked like you to me. That's not a characterization of a drunk magician. I don't know what is. Anyways, let's get into the talk show portion. Kris, you ready for the jarring part?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Thank you. Back. Okay. Oh, we almost got it. Boom. We're all in our right places. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. I, of course, am the drunk and underwhelming. I'm pretty underwhelming. Not quite as drunk tonight as some nights. We're going to go through some comments real quick. We got a lot in. Jason Mercier starts off the show by saying, fuck yeah, at 8:02. Nice. 8:02. Good timing, Jason. He also said he's a twat waffle. I think he might have been talking about Chris Como when we were talking about him earlier. I'm not sure.
Talking about Chris Hayes, probably.
Nick says, what's good, guys? Nick, thank you for joining us. He made a comment about GW whacking it in the middle of a group of people, Pee-wee style. That's awesome. Jason said, G-Dubs, he must be on PCP to leave a message like that. I agree. Fuck that guy. Although, Jason, them are fighting words. You said, fuck pumpkin spice. I want you to know, Jason, that I, in fact, am king of the basic bitches. And I love me some pumpkin spice, bro.
Me too.
Don't make me go get my basic bitch hat and prove it.
He dresses like Han Solo.
I actually wear it for one of my reviews coming up this month. The basic bitch palm hat. I really like it. Speaking of Peekaboo Street, I'm pretty sure she had one. Nick said 12 pack and a quarter. I'll tell you how to get to Killington. I hear you, Nick. I like that.
Nick knows the universal currency of Killington.
That's right. Really. That's right. When the dollar fails, 12 pack and a quarter of weed will still be worth something. Jason said, it's an it. I like that earlier. Matt Wood said pumpkin spice forever. Oh, what? That's not a Spice Girl? Well played, Matt. That's pretty good. He said, did Slim Shady ever impregnate any of the Spice Girls? Now, there's a good question. I remember Kris Hayes was the first one who ever had the Slim Shady LP. It was the first time I listened to that stuff. And yeah, big impact on my life there. I think about that occasionally. And speaking of NoFX earlier, just a quick moment to say to Bart Doherty, man. I miss that dude. And cheers, R.I.P. Bart. And yeah, he was the first one who ever got me to listen to Pumpkin Drublick. And that was a pretty life-changing album for me as far as punk rock. I also wanted to say that G-Dubs, you said you got a hard time about NoFX. I gave them a hard time on one of their posts on YouTube recently. They were advertising the Pumpkin Bowl or whatever they call it, and they had a post up about we can't wait to see y'all masked and vaxxed in the pit. To which all I could think is a bunch of dudes with blue paper masks getting ripped off their face in the middle of a mosh pit. So I left a single comment, which I'm pretty sure on that post has like 15 comments below it and a bunch of likes. But it was like, the comment was, when did punk rock become so safe? When did the scene become a joke? The kids who used to scream anarchy want you to take a knee and get the poke. Which I thought was kind of clever, but not my best work, but it did make me laugh that, the idea of a bunch of masked people in a mosh pit, just the comedy itself, it's pretty incredible. We're going to move into the...
That was a great thing about the show, was hardly anyone was wearing masks.
I would say, it wasn't required. It was outdoors.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Massachusetts is more lenient than Vermont or not. I have no idea what's going on.
You can't go inside with a mask or without a mask.
Okay.
No mask, no service.
Yeah, where here is like, whatever the business wants to do, basically, which is what I like. Anyways, we're moving to the first topic. How the drunk is this news? First Andrew, now Kris. It's almost being a scumbag runs in the family. We got this fun article. I picked this one because they were especially mean on Chris Cuomo, which I feel like he deserves it after all the bullshit he pulled last year. Anyways, Chris Cuomo's insulting sexual harassment apology shows just how little he thinks of women. Oh, God, CNN, how are you going to recover from this one? What did you guys think when you saw this story? Were you surprised, or did you just always assume he was a scumbag?
Let me be honest and say I kind of agree with his position on women. Let's think very little of them, and that way they surprise us. The joys of low expectations, where it's like, oh, hey, you made me dinner. I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
what I love about this story is basically you have Andrew Cuomo screws up, right? And he's like, look, we all realize I made a mistake. I screwed up, but my brother is loved and adored by everyone. And he's a predominant talk show host. So he calls up Kris and he's like, Kris, I need you to get me out of this. I need you to be my alibi. I need you to vouch for me. It's all eyes on you, Kris. And then it's like, oh yeah, Kris is a scumbag too. You're like, damn, I was kind of riding on you, Kris.
Wasn't his father also a scumbag?
Mario, I would imagine. Yeah.
Say, is it genetic?
His name's
Is that
Mario,
the deal?
first off.
I mean, let's think about it. I mean, they learned it from, their father, Kris learned it from Andrew learned it from Mario learned it from I'm going on with probably a Tony. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that New Yorkers have always set the bar really low for the Cuomos, and even still, somehow just continue to disappoint. Like,
so what you're saying is they're really good at limbo. Like, no matter how low
exactly
the
what
bar
I'm saying.
goes, the Cuomos are sliding right underneath it.
That's right. Limbo champions of the state, undoubtedly.
Isn't there a
I
Cuomo
love the
bridge?
whole thing. It's like,
What's that?
Isn't there a Cuomo bridge now?
Yes, the
There is?
Tappan Zee was renamed to the Mario Cuomo Bridge, but nobody calls it that. Everyone calls it the Tappan Zee.
I thought the Cuomo Bridge was the bridge that guy hanging the sign off that said "Cuomo killed my grandma." You guys remember that?
I knew where you were going with that. When
that
you
guy's a
started
fucking legend.
Oh my god!
That's
Oh,
what killed me
man.
about the Andrew Cuomo thing, dude. Is that he literally put sick people in nursing homes and killed 15,000 people, and the media didn't give a shit until he, harassed some women.
Hey,
like,
we've all
don't get
lived-
me wrong. I think harassment's wrong, but I mean, killing 15,000 people has got to be worse than like.
well, harassing Grammy.
With the long dick of the coof. Oh, poor grandma.
Grandma got
God.
over by a Cuomo.
Nick said, "Hey, it's me. It's a Mario." That's what you should call it. Maybe the Mario Bridge. They should put a couple bricks up there with coins when you punch them. I don't know.
Every
People
time you
would
pass
be-
it goes da 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 da.
There's
Well,
a
really,
shortcut.
when you go through the toll, it should.
That would be great. Yeah, I picked this article mostly because this is a perfect example of mainstream media guy just getting eaten alive by a left-wing article. It said Kris Cuomo is a man who doesn't think grabbing a woman's ass unsolicited is sexual harassment, so why should he offer a sincere apology for it? An explosive new op-ed in the New York Times, a veteran TV executive has accused the CNN anchor of sexual harassment in 2005. In 2005, 16 years ago, Shelley Ross, who was Cuomo's boss at the time, recounts how Cuomo groped her at a work party, then later sent an email apologizing for the incident, first to Ross's husband and then to her. So yeah, it's just them going hard in on him, and I appreciate it because I've always thought this guy was shady.
I mean, how dumb is that? You don't ever send the apology email. That's such a Democrat move, isn't it? It's like if that was the Republicans and it was like, remember that time you grabbed that person's ass and be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know when I grabbed that person's ass. Frankly, I don't think it ever happened. But the Democrats would be like, I'm sorry, 35 years ago I pretended to grab your breast and now I'm no longer in the Senate.
I'm not condoning sexual harassment when I say this, but you don't apologize for it. You do it and just be like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I was getting singles.
Yeah.
I will say that's as much as I'm not a huge fan of our former president. I think he was I thought he was far better than the media gave him credit for on certain subjects. But the one thing that I appreciated is the dude didn't apologize for shit. It's like one of the few politicians just be like, what? No, I don't know. He just totally breezed by every apology. And I appreciated that because it's better to not acknowledge. It's better to not acknowledge something than to give a half-hearted fucking apology that it does nothing. It's better to just you know what? I'm gonna pretend that shit didn't happen. At least in U.S. politics, I think.
I
Don't get me wrong.
think he learned that from every Republican who's ever lived. It's like Republican shit happens, you never hear anything about it. The Democrats are like, I'm sorry, let me tell you how I fucked up. And then people are like, okay, this guy fucked up. And he just said, he came on and said fucked up. They said they had a videotape of Trump saying he could grab women by the pussy. And they were like, are you going to apologize for this? And he goes, look, it was locker room talk. Okay? Locker room talk. That's what it was. It was locker room talk.
The worst part about that whole grab him by the pussy comment was Billy Bush. Like, the poor bastard had, like, he was just sitting there. What else is he going to do? And he can't just sit there and totally be like, oh, sir, that is really gross and offensive. Because Trump would be like, oh, you're a pussy? So, and so he just kind of sat there and took it. And then he got fired for it. At least he could have been like, oh, yeah.
A lot of people got fired for stuff that he did. A lot of people.
Yeah. Speaking of people not working, we're going to move right into the next one. Florida man is at it again. Refusing to work at a Florida restaurant and they have to close. Fuck, Florida man is our favorite superhero. He's the official goddamn superhero of the Drunken Under 14 show. But in this one, he's slacking ass. And at a Florida barbecue restaurant shut down after being left with just four employees. I almost said with Florida employees. With 4 employees, no one wants to work, its owner said. Not like a happy story or a fun story, but the Florida man, at least bringing some of the labor shortage to light. I feel like this is a thing that's been going on for a while, and nobody really wants to address the issue that there are serious gaps in the supply chain right now. And but not just on the restaurant front, because let's be honest, restaurants are not exactly essential. Which is why if you work at one, you should have gotten the fuck out like 18 months ago and found a job that, might last the next pandemic. But anyways, a barbecue restaurant near Orlando, Florida is closed, citing labor shortage. Baba Louie's, which is how I'm going to pronounce it. It's pronounced.
I don't think that's even close, but I like it.
I'm going with it. Baba Louie's, maybe? I don't know. Baba Louie's. Baba Louie's Bodacious Barbecue said it has just 4 employees left and has already cut its hours. Despite paying more than any restaurant I'm aware of, no one wants to work, the owner said. Yeah, they said business has been off considerably, but the hardest part being the inability to find staff to hire. Boo McKinnon, which sounds like a made-up name. I'm watching you, Boo. I'm watching you. Boo McKinnon, the restaurant's owner, wrote in the
Florida.
post.
It's real.
That's probably true. We closed our Winter Park store with a whopping 4 employees, McKinnon said in the Facebook post. McKinnon did not say how many people she previously employed in her restaurant, but I'd be willing to bet it was at least double that. For anybody who's ever worked at a restaurant, 4 is nobody. That's like a hostess, 1 waitress, a dishwasher, and a cook.
That's all I need, baby. That's all I need, baby. I've made do with less, all right?
If you went all paper, I guess you could get rid of the dishwasher, maybe, and just hire
it's
one
like
really
chef
miserable cook.
He's just like hands the plate and it's like, it's going to be $350.
But have you experienced this down? Obviously not where you are now, Kris, but back home, are you guys experiencing serious hamperings on the day-to-day?
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. My girlfriend manages a sandwich shop, and I mean they used to be open 7 days a week. They're open 5 days a week now because they don't have enough employees.
Hey, listen to that, farmers market. 5 days a week is a plausible business scenario. Just saying.
Yeah, they close Mondays and Tuesdays because those are their slowest days, and that's it.
Although Tuesday's been a banger for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's Thursday's their slow day. It's like Monday,
weird.
Thursday.
That is really weird, huh?
Which is great because I go in Thursday hungover most of the time because the show's on Wednesday. So like perfect for timing. Not gonna lie.
You're right though. I mean, the supply chain is super rough right now, man. I mean, like, I don't think you can get large iced cups anywhere in the country currently. Like,
Yeah. When a company as big as Starbucks has to start limiting their offerings,
right?
And they have a grip in the supply chain because they're such a big national brand. Like when they can't find cups and lids, yeah, it's scarce.
Well, and I also think this current, this time in history in this industry, I mean, really highlights, there are a lot of places who, if you were getting tips, were paying you below minimum wage and legally could do that. And now people are like, you know what? Like, nah, like, I'm not going to do that. So
I know of a restaurant in Woodstock that will probably close soon that's offering $35 an hour to their wait staff.
Wow, really?
Yep. I don't think it's a sustainable business model. I think, in my honest, drunk perspective, I won't say the name of this place, even though I know it, but I'm pretty sure that they're just going to can everybody after Indigenous Peoples Day. It would be my guess. I assume that it's a play to get through the end of summer and then say, you know what, we're going to throw our hands up after foliage, close this place and move to someplace more populated. That would be my assumption, but I honestly don't know these people. I don't know anybody who runs it or anything, but that's what it would be on my mind if I was running a restaurant right now. And I feel like I have enough experience in the industry that I have a good feel on what people would do.
Yeah, I mean, there's the restaurant I heard the other day that's in White River, and he was saying that he's paying $25 an hour, I think, and then plus tips. He said most of his wait staff's making $50 an hour waiting right now. And he said, and that's what it's taking for him to keep employees and to keep people there. So, like, to your point, Hickory, how sustainable is it? Who knows?
Not
but
very.
The funny thing is, to me, is like everybody's like, it seems like it took people having the pandemic to have this epiphany of being like, I don't want to work, which is strange to me because it's like, I've never wanted to work. I mean, it didn't take like the world shutting down for me to be like, I want to make as much money as I can doing the least amount of work as I can.
Here's the thought. Do any of you personally know anyone who has just said, no, I'm gonna collect unemployment benefits instead of work?
Yes.
You do?
Yep, 100%.
Really?
I know people who have bragged about it on Facebook and stated that they were finally earning a living wage and that they didn't basically admitted that they're a minimum wage level skill set and that they made more money on unemployment and that's why people weren't going back to work. Like, no joke, I've seen people brag about it on my Facebook feed.
And you too, GW.
I'm still unemployed. Ever since the show pretty much started, I've been unemployed. So,
well, you're also a student.
Yeah. I mean, that's besides the point.
I think one thing that's not really potentially being discussed because of its grim nature is that perhaps there aren't as many employees in the industry available because perhaps the pandemic took a number of those individuals from us, putting them in high-risk situations.
Possibly. Part of me thinks that, so right now a lot of the high-demand jobs that people need are food service. A lot of those people move the fuck on because they realize that working in a restaurant is not sustainable. And if the government can make your job disappear with a click of their fingers, maybe you shouldn't be working in that industry anymore. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's a lot of, like, my old kitchen friends have gotten the hell out of restaurant life. That's why restaurants are having a hard time staffing.
Mm-hmm.
The other reason is, too, is that we use a tremendous amount of foreign labor in this country, in every industry out there. And the second that we close the borders, all those work programs where we're bringing in Latin American labor, Mexican labor,
Jamaican. Killington's had a hell of a time. Woodstock Inn, too, is having a hell of a time getting their J1s over.
Yeah.
That's been severely hampered.
Yeah, and once those visas start opening up, you'll have more foreign labor. But the truth is there's a lot of jobs in America that aren't done by Americans. And a lot of them, whether they're lower lying jobs that Americans don't want to do. And the truth is, it's like, I was joking around, like right now, the Mexican peso is 22 to 1. So if you're making, $8 an hour, you're making over 100 pesos an hour, So it's like, and the average Mexican labor wage is 88 pesos a day. So that's $4.50 roughly, So when it's a very enticing it's a win-win situation for these countries of low exchange, where they come in, they work for a few months, they make really great money, they go home, they're able to help their families and stuff like that. It's a win-win situation. Since we've tightened up on that, there's way less, all those positions. Who's going to fill them? So, and no one's really talking about that either, I feel like.
So, and here's another thing that me and my drunky ramblings will go on. That's
what this show is for here, bro.
Yeah.
The segment we call GW Saves the World.
Yes. So,
oh yeah, we even full screen him.
Here's the thing. I'm not a firm believer in a minimum wage. I think that it's an arbitrary number that really has no basis on society, especially now. But the thing that everyone who rails against the minimum wage and goes, well, we should have a competitive wage. I like that. Everyone says that we should have a competitive wage, which is true. The problem is the people who are setting that wage don't want to pay a competitive wage. If you want people, you have to pay them more than $15 an hour. And that's ridiculous in some aspects, and I get that. But if you want people, and they're saying that is not enough money to survive on and to do your job that you're paying for, you need to pay them more money.
And in the case too is, I think with education, it's like education's anything but free in this country. And you're asking a lot of different employees in a lot of different industries to be highly educated, and oftentimes in extreme amounts of debt because of that education. And it's as though that education, the old American, tale was, the higher educated you are, the more money you make. And the way the economy's gone over the last 10 years, that doesn't really seem to prove true. There's a lot of things that are emerging markets and different things that people are doing, side hustles, real estate, different things where, people are making, you can make $500 to $700 a day driving an Uber. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that people are doing that's proving that it's like, the education. And so if you're going to be employed in an educated position, the wages need to come up a lot, and they've had to for quite some time. So if there's a silver lining, maybe this is a real evaluation of like what people are being paid and what things cost.
We need to look at profits.
I'd also argue that wages are going up because inflation is going up.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing.
My last note on this is I noticed this past weekend while I was running some errands that the 2 monitors I had bought for my dual screen setup for the show back in January were up 40%.
Wow. Well, that's import costs too.
Yeah,
sure.
too. But
you're right. My wages have gone up because inflation has gone up. So
I find a lot of small companies are just throwing bonuses too. That's like a part of it, is that a lot are like, oh, you've been here 6 months? Well, here's an extra $1,000 because we're making a bunch of money and you guys are working your ass off. I know personally in my Muggle life, I haven't had any real time off since March 2019. Since the 15 days to slow the spread, I haven't been able to take 15 days off to spread out on my couch, unfortunately. But it's
also the please don't leave bonus, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Hey guys, we still love you, and we're hoping that you don't go to the place down the road,
Right.
Because they're fighting for staff too. Anyway, speaking of down the road, we're going to move into the next one in local news. Some idiot hit the Lincoln-covered bridge with an excavator again.
Whew, thank God the comedy show's back.
Yeah, sorry. We get derailed with some seriousness once in a while, and I find that
I was afraid when I found that story. Like, we didn't even get to the part where she talks about paying in double digits.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna move right into this one. Omni Reporter update 9/27. The bridge is now open. That was an update. Closed. The Lincoln Covered Bridge in Woodstock, Vermont is currently closed due to damage to the bridge seen here, which occurred when a truck carrying a tractor went through the bridge this afternoon. It's unclear how long the closure will last. Fortunately, not as long as last time. Last time the bridge was closed, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. But this is the second time in 2 months this has happened.
Very rarely, Kris, do we get a headline that no comedy is needed, right? Vice President Dick Cheney shot a man in the face. It's just there's just no writing necessary. It's guy on a tractor takes out covered bridge again.
It's just
again.
I mean,
hasn't everyone seen the movie Funny Farm?
Yes.
Like the part where like they try to take the moving van over the covered bridge and it collapsed. Like that movie came out in the 80s. Like you would figure by now enough people would have seen it where it's like, oh hey, we shouldn't do this shit over covered bridges. And the guy's a local. He wasn't some flatlander that just fucked up.
What I don't understand is that there's another bridge, maybe a mile down the road, that is much taller. That's like a steel bridge, much stronger bridge. If I was hauling a huge piece of equipment, I wouldn't think, I know what I'll do. I'll take the covered bridge. I'll take my 14,000-pound tractor and my 8,000-pound truck, my 2,000-pound trailer, and I'll pull them across an old wooden structure. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, you can't get there from here, bud.
No way, guy.
Exactly. On Monday it was closed, and I went. Google Maps directed me down that way. It's like, can I report this? I don't know how to tell Google that this place doesn't work anymore, but it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, Woodstock, never change.
What's crazy is the last time they rebuilt the bridge, it cost a tremendous amount of money. And then, I was reading the other day, it was like one of those historic things where it's like, the Vermont this covered bridge, built in such and such year, has remained virtually the same until recent damages where it was hit by a guy dragging an excavator across the bridge in 2018. So they cited the restoration of the beams because he destroyed all these historic beams the first time. And then this person just destroyed the new beams that we just tried to get a few years ago. It's like this bridge, we just can't have nice things around here, clearly.
And now to circle back around the supply chain, it will probably take twice as long to get the material to.
This is true. If the pressure treated's even available, it has been making a comeback, which is nice because I really got to get a deck on this place before winter. And
life is just a dark comedy, gentlemen, isn't it? That's all it is.
It is. I did want to mention, Nick, Kris, we're a little bit over. Is that cool? You have time?
I'm fine. I'm chilling.
Okay.
Boys.
Okay, we're gonna move right into the next one. Russell Brand. I don't know if you guys saw this. Beyonce has lost his mind. Is he the next Nicki Minaj? I say that because Nicki Minaj just went through a thing where she got banned on Twitter, I think, right?
Whoa, really?
For
spouting some anti-vax stuff, and then so that happened, and then the second one was not Russell Brand. Rihanna was spotted with a shirt on that said "Think" while it's still legal. People were like, "Is Rihanna red pilled? What's going on?" So this is essentially the third story in the saga. Is that Russell Brand? It's beyond disappointing that Hillary was behind the collusion claim. So this was the nice version of the story that I found that wasn't incredibly biased one way or the other. Because what I seem to find on this is the left-wing publications are like, Russell Brand's a fucking idiot. And the right-wing publications are like, hey, this guy finally makes sense. But this seemed to be the least biased one. This was like the rap article said, Russell Brand fan says he has officially lost his mind after latest right-wing conspiracy videos. But I figured we'd go back to this article and at least try to get a handle on what's going on before we dive into this. So the truth is complicated, but lies are obvious, and Russiagate was a lie, left-wing comedian actor Russell Brand said in his new clip. Just to put that in perspective, Brand is coming from the far left. He says so himself in this clip. Later, he talks about the idea of democracy, which sounds a lot like democratic socialism, i.e. the kind of democracy where workers get to vote on every decision made in the workplace, etc. He's not a right-wing guy, though he sort of sounds like it here. Brand is reacting to the recent indictment by John Durham against Democratic lawyer Michael Sussman. Ed wrote about the story last week, and his take is worth reading. If you missed it, Brand's video is mostly a recitation of a piece written by Glenn Greenwald. Greenwald is also on the left, though he has become something of an outcast because of his willingness to write things like this. So the quote that Russell Brand read verbatim almost is, I'll read this real quick. The lie that Sussman allegedly told the FBI occurred in the context of his mid-2016 attempt to spread a completely fictitious story. That there was a, quote, secret server, unquote, discovered by an unnamed internet expert that allowed the Trump organization to communicate with the Russia-based Alpha Bank. In the context of the 2016 election, in which Clinton campaign had elevated Trump's alleged ties to the Kremlin to center stage, the secret communication channel was peddled by Sussman, both to the FBI and to Clinton-friendly journalists, as smoking gun proof of nefarious activities between Trump and the Russians. Less than 2 months prior to the 2016 election, Sussman secured a meeting at the FBI's headquarters with the Bureau's top lawyer, James Baker, and provided him data which he claimed proved this communication channel. It was, in course, trying to lure the FBI into investigating the scam conspiracy when Sussman allegedly lied to Baker by concealing the fact, outright denying that he was peddling the story in his role as a lawyer for the Hillary Clinton campaign, as well as a lawyer for a, quote, tech executive, hoping to be appointed at the top of cybersecurity official in the soon-to-be-inaugurated Clinton administration. Sussman's claim that he was just acting as a concerned private citizen was negated by numerous documents obtained by Durham's investigation, including billing records where he charged the Clinton campaign for his work in trying to disseminate the story, including his meeting with Baker at FBI's headquarters. So Russell Brand got called a conspiracy theorist by Sussman getting arrested for doing this, and I don't know. It's a complicated story, as is the entire Russiagate saga, and lots of it doesn't make fucking sense. But I wanted to see what you guys thought about this, and what do you think? Is this Russell Brand's fall from grace, or do you think he's
Let's go back to the image, Hickory, real quick.
Yeah, that's a great one.
So if I was getting ready to break some real fucking big news, I'd get the piece of paper and then I would put on that T-shirt that looks like it used to be a jizz rag with a bird drawn on it, and I would put that on, and then I wouldn't shave for, I don't know, 2 to 3 months. And then I would come on and be like, look, it's real simple, guys. I got it all right here. Right. It's what it is the FBI was in collusion with the Clintons, but then they were so they were fucking Jeffrey Epstein, right? And they were over there, but then the Russian collusion with the Russian prostitute spies, they were over here, and they've been pulling the strings, mate. They've been doing it all along. And this is the thing. This is democracy, right? And
don't forget the prostitution ring in the pizza place. Don't forget about that as well. Remember?
It's an excellent point, Chris.
I remember that one.
They've been fucking in the pizza places as well.
Or then you find one like Hunter Biden's laptop that the media just confirmed was real. Every once in a while, there's like a gem there that turns out to be something true. But not usually. That was a big gem, but regardless.
Here's my thing. Like, it's just as ridiculous to get your news from us as it is to get it from Russell Brand. We're fucking comedians. Like, you should be knowing this stuff before we even mention it.
It's true.
Like,
I get my news here weekly. Everyone knows that.
That's why it pisses me off when people give Joe Rogan a hard time for talking about shit on his show. And I'm just like, why are you taking this man's opinion? He's a fucking comedian. He was on the goddamn Man Show with Doug Stanhope, which happens to be like my favorite stand-up comic ever. Thank you for all you've done, Doug. But holy
That's right, he
shit.
was on the Man Show. Him and Adam Carolla. Yeah. You're
No,
right.
no.
Adam
Carolla was on the Man Show with fucking Jimmy Kimmel, who is like, who's the face of purity apparently in the late night talk show thing.
Right.
Even though that dude's a fucking scumbag too.
Yeah,
But
how did he ever pull that 180 off? It's crazy.
I don't know, dude. I don't know how any of those late night comedy show dudes that have done blackface and all that shit have somehow. Kimmel and Fallon, right? I think.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
Yeah.
And Justin Trudeau, far progressive Canada. But no, it's very confusing when Rogan was on Rogan and Stanhope did the original Man Show,
Right.
and then after that one got canceled, Carolla and Kimmel did a second variation, which was kind of raunchy, but not quite.
you have that backwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kroll and Kimball did it first.
Oh, no
Then
shit.
they left. And then it was Rogan and Stanhope.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
I believe actually, and Rogan's actually related to Jimmy Kimmel. It's his, like, they're cousins, actually.
Okay.
And so somehow he actually passed it off. I believe that was it.
He's also cousins with Jared Way. What a famous family.
Jason said that show is fucking awesome. I agree. The original Man Show, I prefer the one with Stanhope and Rogan. I guess I'm being corrected, and the original was with Kimmel and Carolla. See, Carolla, like, I really like him still. I think some of his stuff's funny, but he'll never outshine the fucking Loveline days. Like, that was my favorite iteration of Carolla.
Spectacular.
Yeah, like being Dr. Drew's, like, kind of like his comic relief. Like that tag team of like Dr. Drew just being very matter of fact about everything and Carolla pitching in one-liners was a goddamn
Drew,
magic.
So what he's saying is he likes to tie his dick up in a rope and pull on it.
You know me so well, Kris.
Matt said, "Who are you thinking? Because there are way many more that are smart than dumb." I don't know if I'd agree with that, Matt. I like you, but I don't know if I'll agree with that. The Man Show was good while it lasted. I'll agree. Nick Waters, girls jumping on trampolines. Yeah, the Juggies are classic.
Oh, yeah.
And Jason says, I'm talking about rappers to that trap rap. Yeah, I don't know much about trap rap, to be honest.
He's in a trap.
I used to love the guy who had the two beers in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Iggy Zaggy, Ziggy Zaggy, oi, oi, oi. Yeah. I actually Rogan and Stanhope were on Tosh.0 and did a bit about the Man Show and coaching this guy. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that was
is Tosh still on? Does he make new episodes?
I don't know if Tosh is still on. I guess I could look it up in a minute. Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I'd like to think that he's still doing this thing. But I don't know. I see them pop up on YouTube every once in a while, but like they're always like old episodes. I don't know. No, I guess it ran from November 24th, 2020 was the.
Okay.
I can't tell you if there's going to be another season, but that was the official IMDb thing says it ended in 2020. But who knows? Although 2009 to 2020, he had a hell of a run for a Comedy Central show.
Yeah.
Like 11 years of a Comedy Central show is better than like 99.9% of shows have done on that channel. Other than like Comedy Central Presents and like, I can't think of many others.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Chappelle Show was only on for 3 years.
And it's iconic. Mind of Mencia, that show felt like it
Was a piece
lasted.
of shit.
I know, so it felt like it lasted
he's
45
awful.
years, but there was only two episodes. Or two
That was
seasons.
the most badass moment when Rogan went on stage and just
It's
called
so
out
good.
Mencia. And it was just so good because Mencia's like looking and he's like, yeah, dude, like, whoa. And he's like trying to be kind of like tough and shit. And Joe Rogan's like, I will roundhouse kick you to the fucking head. Like, what are you going to do about it, you little fucking twat? And like he's sitting there, he's like, and then like it was just Joe Rogan's like, no, you're stealing everybody's shit, you fucking prick, and we all know it. And you're like you're not even denying it.
I love the people that I saw this earlier, like within the week, where it was someone's like Joe Rogan who rallies against cancel culture, canceled Carlos Mencia. It's like, no,
Yeah,
that's not how that works.
Well, yeah, but there's a big difference between canceling somebody because they're ripping off everybody else's shit and canceling somebody because you disagree with them. So, yeah, Carlos Mencia needed it, I think, because he was, like, really good at just ripping off everybody else's jokes and putting them under, like, in a Mexican theme.
Yeah.
And that was, like, his entire...
The person who's the worst in the industry and has never been canceled is Amy Schumer. And she steals so much material, it's staggering. But the craziest thing I ever saw, I think there's a documentary that's actually like a feature film about all just the jokes she's stolen. But the craziest thing she ever did was Ellen DeGeneres had a bit where she'd be like, you ever eat popcorn? And popcorn's so good. Like you start with one piece, then you have two, and then the next thing you know, you're just shoving it in your face. You're like, all of a sudden,
yes, I remember this, Collen.
Yep.
Totally.
And so Amy Schumer went on to Ellen's show, and Ellen's like, so they're like talking, and she goes to Ellen, you know, Ellen, I love popcorn. Do you like popcorn, Ellen? And Ellen's like, I love popcorn. She's like, so do I. You know, I always find like when I start, I eat it so dainty, like one piece, you know. And the next thing I know, I'm eating like 3 or 4, and then I'm just shoveling them in my face. And if you look at this clip, Ellen's just looking at Amy, and she's like, are you fucking serious right now? You're gonna come on my show and tell a fucking joke that's from my special? Are you
That's
fucking
brutal?
Which I'll tell you is like the most fucking pro troll move ever.
Yeah,
like, that's like something that like a serious internet troll would do.
That's like next level balls though. Like you come in and you work someone else's material in front of them on their own show.
Hysterical. Matt Wood, they got in a conversation about trap rap in the comments, I guess. Matt said trap rappers don't actually rap, they suck. And they said real rap is an intelligent person's thing to do. I agree. So if you want to see Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming rap, on my channel is a video where I rap on Burden's verse called Fuck Biden. And it happens to be my most watched video right now. And that's super fun. But we'll move right into the last one without further ado. I know that we've been talking about pumpkin spice and celebrating holidays too early and shit all night. So we're going to move right into that. And I got to say, I'm into sexy costumes. I was thinking at the Halloween show this year, I'm just going to be a sexy magician. And I'll just have, I'll just wear the vest and like maybe show a little nip on the side.
A little side boob, Hickory.
Yeah, a little side boob. You know, there's nothing sexier than a magician's side boob. Matt Wood said Spice Girls forever. I agree. Pumpkin Spice
we love
Girls
the Spice
particularly.
Girls.
But remind me at the end of the show, I want to bring something up that Matt knows about.
Okay. Moving into the last topic of the evening before we get into the end stuff. It's only about a month to Halloween. Let's talk sexy costumes. I'm liking Bernie.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Bernie. For all those who don't remember, oh man, I don't even have one. Oh, so in the past season, I've done a lot of overlays, but I don't even have a Bernie one. I'm sorry. I just have like crying AOC and double crying AOC and
Pretty
Gandhi
funny.
spanking AOC. So yeah, I mean, I might have developed a fetish over the past season, things to do with Gandhi and AOC. But for those of you who don't remember the Bernie meme, absolutely fucking amazing. But apparently there's a sexy. This is a clip from the Young Turks that G-Dub sent me. Apparently, you got $85. You could be sexy Bernie for Halloween. Let's check out what this dude has to say.
No volume.
I don't have his audio.
Oh, no audio. Sorry about
Nope.
that. I forgot to unmute there.
So all the hashtag hot girls for Bernie's might want to come forward on this one.
Which I just want to say, you guys are all hashtag hot girls for Bernie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, just saying. I just want to put that out. I feel like I have to because I really hate the billionaires. I used to hate the millionaires, but Bernie became one. So I just hate the billionaires now.
Because Halloween is hey, this
You're
is
not
just
wrong.
Halloween is on its way, and there's a new costume that's going to hit the shelves, and you just not want to get your hands on. Vice News did report that Dolls Kill, this is online purveyor of e-girl wears and platform boots, is selling a hot Bernie Sanders Halloween costume. Oh my God. The quote, once again, costume set is a clear riff on the Vermont Center's viral mittens and mask combination from Inauguration Day that includes a polyester blend gray coat, which is modeled without pants, that's the part, to keep it sexy, mittens, and a blue surgical mask. So in case you guys didn't...
Okay, before we go any further, I want to know, what do you guys think? Does this thing come with the mask, or you're going to provide your own because they're a dime a
It
dozen?
says it comes with the blue surgical mask, Hickory.
Okay. I don't do enough research. You're calling me out on the show, Kris. That's fine.
I'm so, I just Amy Schubert you.
meme. After he was sitting outside freezing with his mittens and his mask up and his gray coat.
You're so
and why
cold.
not make a Halloween costume out of it? But instead of going to the store and getting a coat and a mask and some mittens and hanging out and pulling a chair with you to your Halloween parties, you have to do it like this with no pants on and sexy. And look at that price tag, by the way.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, look at it. Once again, asking costume set is $85 is what they're pushing for this year. So the Dolls Kill product description sets you up for a quote.
Well,
just like many overpriced costumes.
I'm going to order one as soon as we're done with the show, guys. So.
Well, what you got to realize is Bernie was wearing the mitten gloves, but the signature look there was actually the Burton jacket.
I agree.
And
she wasn't wearing it, was she?
No, she's wearing like a sweater.
Oh,
and the thing is if you have a Burton jacket, you could dress this up for a lot less, ladies. Just listen here. Obviously, we got to go no pants with this because that's what's keeping it sexy. But the Burton jacket, the mittens, the things, and for the shoes, I would go with New Balances. New Balances are going to read way more Bernie than the Doc Martens are.
Jason comments and says only you, Hickory. Yeah, only me with the AOC fetishes and the sexy Bernie costumes. I gotta say, Matt said sexy Bernie is like saying Bernie twice. I agree. I told G-Dubs this earlier. My favorite meme is my favorite Bernie meme. As much as I love this one because it seriously was on season 1 for like the entire second half, was that a picture of the Dos Equis guy with Bernie's face on him, and it just said, "I don't always comb my hair, but when I do, I choose to do so with a balloon." We summed up Bernie's hairstyle perfectly. Nick says, "I just want his fucking mittens. Hunting season is coming."
Oh,
I agree,
God.
but you're gonna need a hole for the trigger there, Nick. Just pointing that out. Don't say his name 3 times or it'll show up, says Jason.
Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders.
In a past life, I wear the chains forged by the billionaires.
I am once again asking you.
You will be visited by 3 ghosts this evening.
I'm once again asking you not to bang a girl wearing a sexy Bernie costumes. Because enough people are saying fuck Biden that I don't want people interpreting you pounding this poor little girl in a blue mask with the mittens as me saying fuck Bernie. let's keep the hate on the current president, and I will just spend out the rest of my days in the Senate. Thank you. That's my really poor Bernie impression, but thank you.
That was spot on, man.
Matt said I'd have a beer with him. Me too, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it would end in a disagreement or not. I feel like we'd agree on a lot of weird shit, but the major issues would be a little off on.
Hickory,
It depends,
I think
too.
you and Bernie could find some common ground, man. I really
Me too, but I feel like I'd get a lot better along with 2015 Bernie before he bowed the knee to Hillary. You know, that's my real contention with the man is that I really liked him
my friends.
until he said, no, poor establishment. I would give my soul to thee. That was the part where I got like kind of nauseous, and I was like, God,
dude, that's a whole other. We could spend an hour on that conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring that up. Nick said $20 is $20. I agree, Nick. Oh yeah, because Jason earlier said I could make that fucking costume for $20. I agree, because I would steal a Burton jacket, and I feel like the mittens I could probably make in an afternoon. The first joint. Oh, he said, yeah. Nick said the first joint I smoke will burn the hole. I'm not sure. Jason said, "Oh my God, Colin, that's pure gold." And Jason said, "You guys are fucking awesome." Thank you, Jason. Jason, Nick, Matt, everybody else watching the show. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you for being here.
Where the fuck Sean Henry?
I agree. I missed that
Sean
guy.
Henry hasn't said anything.
Yeah, he didn't drop by. He was pretty active the past two shows, so I'll give him a pass on this one. Anyways, I wanted to end by asking you guys if you had to pick a sexy costume that you want to see for this year. And obviously, you know, we'd all say Birdie, but if you had to pick a sexy costume for this Halloween season, what do you think first off, not just a sexy one, what do you think the costume of the year is going to be? And secondly, what do you think the sexy costume you want to see this year is? And guys, feel free to comment. I'll read them off in a little bit.
Oh, you want me to tell them, or you want the people watching to tell them?
Well, I want them to comment, but I figured we'd go first, and then I'll read them off
I'll tell
after.
you what the costume of the year is going to be. Is going to be the AOC Met Gala Eat the Rich dress for sure, no question.
I was thinking about wearing a Chick-fil-A bag myself.
I didn't even think about that. It's very funny.
Oh yeah. That meme ruined it for me after that.
I didn't see that.
And yeah, we actually said it a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, or a week ago on the show, Chris, that I would totally agree with AOC if she had walked into that bitch wearing a dress that said taxation is theft. That would have been even better to me, is if she had walked in and been like, no, taxation is theft. I can stand by that. Don't get me wrong. I think if I'm going to pay taxes, the rest should too. But on principle, taxation is theft, and I don't feel like I'm getting my fucking money's worth with our current leadership. Anyways, we got some good ones coming in. Colin, what do you think? What sexy Halloween costume you want to see this year?
I'm thinking of going as a sexy Sonny Bono.
Colin, always topical and relevant for the year.
You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sexy! I hit a tree."
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I know I need the mustache, and then maybe I just go with some ski poles or something. Hair. Try to do what I can with the hair. What is going to be the costume of the year? The Joker was really popular a couple years ago. This year, I mean, I feel like we, don't have a lot of like films to, that people can be. I think like literally, I feel like the political ones are probably big. Even just like AOC, just red dress with the glasses kind of thing and the lipstick, So I'd say probably like AOC as well.
Nice. G-Dubs, you got any ideas?
I do. Now, it's going to be Lil Nas X dressed as anything is going to be the sexy costume of the year.
Probably true.
I do want to see a sexy Biden where you have sex with her and then she totally forgets about it and thinks it's somebody else.
Jesus. Oh my God. Oh man.
Not a single vote for sexy Kamala Harris. I'm sorry, Vice President. You're not ranking well on the show. I'm thinking after all the God, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong. The Gabby Patillo YouTube drama, that Sexy Dog the Bounty Hunter is going to be a big one this year. If he actually
I thought you were going with that.
If he pulls off this, well, I mean, it could be Sexy Dead Gabby Patillo, I guess.
I was hoping you weren't going to go there, Hickory.
I mean, that could be a little insensitive. I was thinking a Sexy Dog the Bounty Hunter. I was thinking that would be a good one.
Didn't Dog die? He's dead, right?
No, dude. He's out searching for the guy who murdered Gabby.
Did Dog's wife die?
No, she had cancer, but I'm pretty sure she has survived.
She's okay. Oh, that's good.
I think Bess is still alive. I'm not up to date on the dog story, other than he was like, wait, somebody killed a famous YouTuber? Fucking boots on the ground. And
that's it, baby.
Yeah, I was a fan. I was thinking
Beth is dead.
Good.
Oh, Beth is dead. Oh, geez.
Beth died?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring that up. I apologize. R.I.P. Beth. We wish you the best out there in whatever space you're floating in. But I was thinking that popular this year, yeah, Biden costumes might be there. The Corona hazmat suit was kind of played out last year, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it could be Andrew Cuomo. I think that would be that would be a funny costume for this year. And we had some really great fucking entrances, and this one kind of took mine. Nick's was going to be a job application, and that was going to be my costume of the year. So, Nick, you started me before I got there. There's some really good ones in here, though. Matt Wood said sexy burrito. That would be great.
2 R's, not 2 T's there, Nick. Matthew. That's all right, though.
Matt, you teach English. What the fuck? Jason said...
Burrito's Spanish.
Jason said Biden. Jason said, "Oh my God, Chris, that's fucking awesome." Nick said a free sign-on bonus would be the Halloween costume of the year. That's pretty close. Jason said, "You guys should dress up for a Halloween special." Yes, Nick, we most certainly will. Or Jason, we most certainly will.
I'll be tuning in to see what Hickory dresses up as.
I was a Boogaloo boy last year. That was what I did for the show. I thought that was appropriate. And this year, I'm not going to release anything because it's going to be good. But yeah, we will definitely dress up. And we got Katniss Everqueer, a burlesque dancer, on the show for Halloween, so that should be super fun. We'll see what she dresses as. I'm very excited. Last time she was on the show, she wore a top with her face printed on it, which was pretty phenomenal.
Wow,
yeah, killer.
Love that.
Yeah, Katniss is the shit. I like her. We were actually talking about GW and I getting matching banana hammocks with her face on them after the show. That was we should really start recording the post-show segments and putting them up behind a paywall or something, because they're pretty good.
The Patreon content, boys.
That's right. Nick said, Matt said sexy Kevin Spacey. He also said sexy Elon Musk. Yeah, that would be a good one. If you got like SNL Wario Elon, that would be a really good costume this year. Wario Elon was a highlight of my year. Or the Doge. If you were the Shiba, that would be a great costume for this year.
Oh, the Doge, yeah.
Yeah. Jason said, if Dog finds the guy before the government, they suck. Yeah, there's a strong chance from what I've read that Dog will find them before our government does.
I'm betting on Dog for sure. There's got to be one of those betting apps has to allow me to bet on Dog.
Yeah, I would say.
Those pesky things like warrant to worry about.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I love it. I love the fact that Dog's just like, today I ain't going after a Ferrari or a yacht. Today I'm going after a fucking guy who was a camping, was into RVing. All right. You were fucked, my
girlfriend. We got Matt Wood saying sexy Jeff Bezos. That would be hard because you'd get him confused with the sexy alien, I think, because he's got a big head and the gray eyes. I don't know. Matt said, damn right, GW. Jason
Solidarity,
said,
my brother.
yes. Nick said, I need her off my face. I don't know who he was talking about, but I appreciate it anyways. Matt said, I'm going to be Jeff Bezos' space dick. That's a great fucking costume right there.
I like that costume. Yeah. That's good.
Nick said, have you seen the reward amount? No, but that's probably why dog's on the case, right? Not only would it be a great amount of internet clout for him to go grab that, but also,
return to relevancy and money talks, bruh.
Oh, no shit. Jason P. Mercier says there is a betting app on the case.
There we go. I knew it. I knew there had to be.
Yeah, I'll be going to put down money later tonight. That's for sure. That's pretty much all I got. You guys got anything you want to get off your chest before we?
I do. Before.
Oh yeah. You did have one. Sorry, Jeff.
So when I was a senior in high school, I was a part of a program called Upward Bound, which is a college prep program for high school students to get them ready. It's basically low to middle income students who want to prepare for college. And Matt Wood was one of the advisors / staff members for this program. At the end of the year, at the end of the summer, when the program ended, we have a giant variety show. During that variety show, I dressed as sexy Spice from the Spice Girls. I wore a dress that was low cut and high skirted, and we sang along to Spice Girls "Wannabe," and Matt was part of that. So
that's amazing. Thank you for sharing
outed.
That. In the comments, still rocking. Yeah, Matt Wood says I was responsible at times, and yes. Nick said Upchurch put up 50K. I assume he's talking about the Gabby thing. I don't know if you guys know who Upchurch is. He's a country hip hop guy. He actually shared one of my fucking reactions to his songs on his Instagram the other day, and then subscribed to my YouTube channel. So there's that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I feel like I should.
Humble brag.
Yeah, dude. Like a dude with 2.63 million subs is like I don't know, right there on my my recent subscribers list. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to share it. Anyways, anything before we get out of here?
I just like to say good riddance to R. Kelly.
The Babylon Bee had the best headline about that. They were like, R. Kelly found guilty for not being Joe Biden's son.
You know, the thing is with R. Kelly is what's shocking is they're like, he's guilty. And I'm like, yeah, I figured he was guilty. I assumed he was guilty when I saw him peeing on a 14-year-old girl when I was like 12. You know what I mean? And it was like, I remember that. I remember seeing this stuff. Like, people were like, everyone like knew R. Kelly was a raging pedophile.
It's just like,
and
it's the same
for
thing
whatever reason, we've tolerated this guy for way too long. So,
Colin, it's the same thing as Michael Jackson when the documentary came out. He's like, I'm shocked. It's like, do you not remember the 90s? Like,
yeah, right.
I would still trust Michael Jackson with my kids more than R. Kelly with a
more than R. Kelly.
100%. 100%. Like you have a kid. Who's it going to? Michael Jackson's house or fucking R. Kelly? I mean, my God. I mean,
yeah,
you can't just write a song like I Believe I Can Fly and go around sleeping with children. You know what I mean?
Jason said, oh my God, did you shave for it? I'm assuming about the Upchurch thing. Yeah, I waxed after that, bro. I was ready for him to show up. Matt said, brag that shit. Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but I was fucking stunned. Not only when I had his fans in my comment section saying, hey, this dude that you've been listening to for 4 years just shared a reaction video for a character you've been doing since 4 years ago. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah, I had to share. There's also a share of me screen capping the Instagram share on my channel. Jason said, send all hate mail to Reggie Britton or King Sean McBlaze. I agree. Matt Wood said, fuck R. Kelly. Yeah, I agree with that, but I would have said that far before anybody thought he was a creep. Because, yeah, it's just garbage. Foley Law from Jason P. Mercier. Yeah, Foley.
Yeah.
Kris, any plugs? Anything you got coming up that you want to share on the show before we get out of here?
Man, I don't know. I've just been working like a dog, man.
I hear that, bro.
Yeah. Probably the way things are looking, I might have some fun stuff coming up in 2022, but the rest of this year is just kind of making up for a quiet year last year. So I'm doing a lot of live sound work. So,
nice.
But you can bother me on Instagram, Hayesways in. GW asked about this. So I did this show. Well, I still do it, but it's just taking a hiatus. I do this thing on Instagram Live called Gear Chat Welcome, where I talk with musicians. It always starts about, equipment and musical gear and stuff, but we just talk about life and whatever. But life got busy and I stopped doing it. But hopefully this winter we'll get back on the, when no one's touring and stuff, we'll get back on the horse for that. So.
Nice.
Hey, Kris, I would love to be a part of that show. I would do one with you.
I'd love to have you.
And we can go over my gear that I have.
Absolutely.
Collen, Jason says, when's the next show in Bridgewater?
We have a show coming up October 16th at the Woolen Mill, 8 p.m. We've got some talent coming up from New York City. And then we have our Halloween show October 30th. So that's
which I will be at. We're working on booking some talent for that, and there might be some surprises in store that I'll be able to share next week if I get everything solidified for the Halloween show. I'm pretty excited. We've done that the previous years. I'm not sure if I'm going to show up as Sexy Biden or Sexy AOC for the Halloween show this year, but it'll be up to you guys to show up and find out, because we will not be live streaming that show, because there may be some burlesque and it may be performed by me if nobody else shows up. Who knows? We're gonna see what happens. Halloween shows can get weird, man. They're memorable, but they get weird. I like them.
That's a treat, ladies and gents.
Is masks a requirement for the show? Not while you're seated, Jason. We generally recommend it as you're coming in, but once you're seated, we encourage vax, but we're not going to card you at the door. So I'm neither Collen or I get paid enough to police people's medical status. Matt Wood said, I'm going as me. I'm sexy as fuck. Sexy as me. Matt, well done, sir. That's a good Halloween costume. I still think you should be funny, and it would be really funny to see Matt Wood go like as Ted Cruz or something. Because it would be such like a opposite end of the spectrum costume. Or
Ted Cruz he's really, what an arc with the way he has presented himself, physically in like the last few years. Like he just like with the beard and the undercut and like he's just a wild looking dude now.
I should go like sexy Matt Wood.
Oh, that would be good. I would love to be a sexy Matt Wood. I might have to do that at work this year. Yeah, I would agree. Ted Cruz has gone through a character arc, not necessarily politically, but physically.
Right.
Like I feel like every other picture I see him, sometimes it's like, dude, that guy's beer gut's fucking huge as shit. And then I see another photo, and I'm like, no, he looks like a pretty slim dude. And then all of a sudden he's got a beard and he looks fat again. And I'm just like, what is, like, I want to know what the elites have that I don't have, where they can like lose 70 pounds in 3 weeks.
What do they have go? Yeah, it's the thing that makes you not lose your hair. It's the same deal, I think. Yeah.
Well, we call it magic. Call it magic powder, right?
The thing that gives you facelifts automatically when you hit 60s and you're in the Senate. you know, just
Was
like
that South
whatever
Park
it is.
where they're just like eating actual fetuses for stem cells? Like, you remember that episode?
That was the Christopher Reeves episode where he breaks the baby and just like out of its neck. Yeah.
That's what they do. I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say I meant to bring this up earlier and I didn't, but the latest season of American Horror Story actually brought up a certain conspiracy by a letter that I can't say on the show because it's a no thing now on YouTube, I guess. But you guys know what I mean. It's a thing that comes after PP. But they made a comment about that on the show, which made me go, dude, this entire season's been about that. Like, literally, the season was about, and spoiler alerts for anybody watching who digs American Horror Story and is not caught up, it's about a group of, an artist who is a writer, and he goes to Provincetown with his wife and his kid, and he meets some other famous writers, and they're all taking this drug that essentially turns them into vampires where they have to suck blood in order to like get the nutrients that the drug depletes, but the drug allows them to write or do whatever they're talented at, like extremely well. Like you could be like a mildly talented TV writer, and this dude takes the pill and eats a few people, and no joke, he's writing like 5 years worth of material in 2 years that's like grade A content. And the weird part about the story is that baby's blood is way more potent than human, like normal adult blood. And I was just like, they didn't mention it till the 7th episode, but this entire season was about that thing that we can't really talk about. But they did the entire season, and my mind is blown because I didn't see that coming until that final episode.
Just a heads up, my computer is on 1%, so if I magically disappear, it's not because I don't love you.
Okay, Kris, you want to give any plugs or any goodbyes before you get out of here?
No, I just always appreciate you having me. It's
awesome.
Always, you guys are a lot of fun, man.
We appreciate you. I'll be in touch in the next couple of weeks, and we'll set up a fall spring date for you.
Part 4, I believe it'll be.
Love having you on the show, brother. It's good to see you. We got to get you and Captain Granite on at the same time at some point. We're going to have like a 2005 reunion show. That'd be fun.
Love that.
G-Dubs, anything you want to plug before you get out of here? Other than Foley Kills the Podcast.
Foley Kills the Podcast. Episode 21 just came out. 22 will come out on Monday.
And go roast that asshole in his comment section.
Yes.
Unlike me, I'm at the point where I just full in lean into negative comments at this point, and I'm just like, whenever somebody's like, "Shut the fuck up and let the music play, nerd," I'm just like, "Yeah, you're hilarious. Maybe you should come on my show." Like that's how I comment. I respond to negative comments. It's just ridiculous. Like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you with kindness" because it's funny. Collen, October 16th, October 28th, or 30th. Anything else before we get on out of here?
Oh, Kris died.
And now, girls on trampolines.
Oh, man, I wish I had a good clip for that. Awesome. So, before I leave, Jason said some of them got me in trouble with business and the police. I'm not sure he's talking about. Matt Wood said, "I'll try. Ted Cruz is like Wolverines if he had flaccid penis claws." That's kind of funny. Next said, "Great show as always." Nick Waters said, "I will send bad comments, GW." Yeah, go get that guy. Matt Wood said, "Then there was 3. Yeah, it's the last 3. Thank you guys for joining us. Matt, Jason, Nick, Henry, if you were out there in ether. Especially big thanks to Chris Hayes for joining us. Collen, GW, always good to see you, my friends. I appreciate you dudes. And that's pretty much all we got for this episode of the program. It's been episode 22 of the Drunken Under Quarantine Show presented by Woolen Comedy Club, featuring Chris Hayes, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming, GW Foley, and Collen Doyle. We will see you guys in the next episode 23. Next week, Will Pepora will be on the program. That should be plenty exciting. He's a good dude. I can't wait to see him. He was on last time as a special with Matt Vita, which we're working on rebooking, hopefully for Thanksgiving. And other than that, the memorable ones, there's going to be some really good shows coming up. But Katniss on Halloween special should be fun. If you guys want us to dress up as certain things, spam it on our Facebook pages, and I will make it happen if I have the resources and it works, I'll dress up as whatever. I don't give a shit. As long as it doesn't get us kicked off the internet. I'm totally cool with that. Nick said cheers. Cheers, Nick. I appreciate you. That's all I got on this one. Thank you guys for joining me. I am, of course, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming, reminding you all to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. But most importantly, in these trying times, just be glad that your last name isn't Cuomo. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
And so I didn't get a chance to take my pants off.